Mercedes chief since Ferrari warning to Lewis Hamilton and Valtteri Bottas. Ferrari have struggled to making a telling blow on their rivals in the first 4 races of the season, allowing and Valtteri Bottas to secure consecutive 1-2s. The Finn leads his teammate by just a single point after 2 victories each, by way of a fastest lap point in Australia, with Vettel 35 points back in 3rd place. While some fans fear total dominance throughout 2019, team principal Wolff is seeking to avoid any disputes over which driver gets priority. Hamilton famously battled with Nico Rosberg in the 2016 season, tensions often boiling over. And if Bottas develops a similar personal rivalry with the 5-time world champion, Ferrari could return to the title mix. "It reminds me a little bit of Hamilton and Rosberg," remarked the Austrian. "You have 2 drivers that have the ambition and the ability to win a championship, and it's up to us, together with them, to be very aware of that situation, and remember that very quickly Vettel or Leclerc could be back in the game." We mustn't be carried away with the 4 first results. And definitely the relationship matters in order to avoid what we went through between Nico and Lewis. Luckily for Mercedes, Wolff is confident that such a scenario will not unfold. Hamilton and Rosberg crashed into each other a number of times as teammates, and the team are better prepared to deal with a repeat scenario as a result. "We are lucky that they have a very good relationship," continued Wolff. "They get on with each other, there is not a lot of games in the background. And I'm very happy about that. But, as a matter of fact, we have to be conscious. We have seen relationships deteriorate. Both of the drivers, the respect needs to stay there. We're very strong as a team, and we wouldn't allow the relationship between drivers to deteriorate to a point that it has a negative effect on the team. If that would ever be the case, again after Nico and Lewis, we would issue yellow and red cards." Next news: Lewis Hamilton, Nico Rosberg reveals shocking lengths he wanted to beat Mercedes star. The 2 drivers had a tense relationship during their 4 seasons together for the Silver Arrows. Their rivalry between 2013 and 2016 arguably ranks as one of the best in Formula One history, the pair winning 54 of 78 races while they were both at Mercedes, with Hamilton winning 32 races to Rosberg's 22. British driver won his 2nd and 3rd career world championships in 2014 and 2015 as Mercedes reacted strongest to the sports engine changes to dominate the grid. Their relationship, which stemmed from their karting days together, became increasingly frayed, and the Germans' frustrations showed when Hamilton won another title in 2015. An awkward scene between the pair in the driver's room after Hamilton officially claimed back-to-back titles with a victory at the United States Grand Prix saw Rosberg throw his podium cap at his teammate. But Rosberg responded to the disappointment of missing out by winning the title in 2016, coming out on top of Hamilton by 5 points, even though the latter defied team orders in Abu Dhabi and slowed down as the race leader to try and allow him to catch second-placed Rosberg. Just 5 days after winning his maiden title, Rosberg shocked the sport by announcing he was ending his career at the age of just 31, declaring, "I am done. The next step is being a dad and a husband, and I am very much looking forward to that." But Rosberg, now a prominent F1 expert for Sky Sports and RTL, has revealed the tiniest of details that he had to consider in order to eke out every advantage he could to eventually get the better of Hamilton, who has not lost a title in either of the last 2 years since Rosberg ended his career. Analyzing last weekend's Azerbaijan Grand Prix on his, Rosberg revealed, A little secret of the day then which none of you know, which I've never said. The reason for me going to a black helmet, because if you remember before I had a white, yellow and blue helmet. I went to the black one because going black, you can see there's no paint on the helmet. You can see the carbon shining through. It saved me 60 grams, going to the black design. 1 kilo at the time was 3/100ths of a second per lap, so that was 60 grams, 2/1000ths of a second per lap just from the helmet. That was the reason I went to the black helmet. Nobody knows that, that's exclusive stuff here on YouTube, first time I say that. Weight was just so crucial, so I would even chop up my socks to try and lose 10 grams from my socks and everything to try and get the maximum weight out. It's all in the details. Massive attention to details to win in F1 and required, at least to beat Lewis anyway. That was definitely the case. Now a 5-time world champion, Hamilton trails Mercedes teammate Valtteri Bottas by a single point after 4 races of the 2019 season. Next news: Lewis Hamilton, Valtteri Bottas can win F1 title and he has learned from me, Nico Rosberg. That's according to a man who knows what it takes to get the better of, former world champion Nico Rosberg. Mercedes claimed their 4th consecutive 1-2 finish to start the 2019 season in Azerbaijan last weekend. Bottas converted his pole position into a race win, for his 2nd triumph of the year, as Hamilton came home in 2nd while Ferrari duo Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc were 3rd and 5th respectively. Reigning world champion Hamilton and Bottas both have 2 wins apiece, though the latter leads the drivers' standings by a point, having claimed an extra point for the fastest lap at the Australian Grand Prix. While Hamilton's strongest challenge for the title was tipped to come from Ferrari's Vettel, it is Bottas who has given him the most to think about so far, despite having ended 2018 in 5th and 161 points behind the Brit. He became the first Mercedes driver not to win a single race in a season since Michael Schumacher in 2012, as he endured an abundance of misfortune. But Rosberg, the last man to pip Hamilton to the title 3 years ago when he was his Mercedes teammate instead of Bottas, believes the 29-year-old can now be a genuine competitor until the very end of the season because he has found himself over the winter break. And the German, who retired from just 5 days after becoming world champion for the first time, joked that Bottas may have learned a thing or two from him, given he lost 2 title battles with Hamilton before coming up triumphant in 2016. Rosberg told his after Bottas win in Baku, "In one of my first videos of the season, I said that Valtteri really has a chance this year to be champion. It's a different Valtteri we're seeing. Everything is going his way as well. Last year he had a lot of bad luck, where now he's had a start of the season where everything is going his way. It just gives you a completely different mindset. It puts you in a different confidence level as well. That just matters so much in sport." Valtteri now has really high confidence, and therefore he can continue fighting with Lewis in the next couple of races. He does have a chance to win the championship, there's no reason why not. In all qualifyings, he's right there with Lewis pace, so he's really doing well. Amazing how it can go from one season to the next, isn't it? Last year Valtteri was in no man's land and suddenly over winter reset. Probably he learned some things from me as well in the way to reset over winter and come back fighting strong. Not focusing on Lewis but focusing on yourself and getting the job done, that's what matters. Valtteri is doing that, so hats off, doing well. Next news: Max Verstappen, Red Bull chief reveals the team he expects F1 star to drive for next year. The Anglo-Austrian outfit tied Verstappen down to a long contract last season, and he has begun repaying their faith. Now clearly the no-one driver in the Red Bull garage, he hasn't finished outside the top 4 in any of the opening 4 races. Sunday's 4th place finish in the Azerbaijan Grand Prix was another consistent drive that saw him comfortably beat Charles Leclerc in the Ferrari. It is the Italian team that have occasionally been linked to Verstappen, with Leclerc and Sebastian Vettel's inability to win a race so far this year increasing speculation around the pair. But Horner is confident his man will honor his contract, despite Mercedes emerging as potential suitors too. Max has a contract, so everything is fine, Red Bull team boss Horner said in Baku. I am 100% sure he will drive for our team next year. Red Bull gave Verstappen his break in, first with sister team Toro Rosso. The young racer impressed enough to earn a second season promotion to the 4-time Constructors' World Champions, winning his first race in a memorable drive-around circuits of Barcelona, Catalonia. So far, has 5 F1 Grand Prix wins to his name, and 2019 has seen him earn a single podium, in Australia. His performances have comfortably outpaced new teammate Pierre Gasly, who is still adapting to life in one of F1's major teams and retired from 6th place in Baku. Verstappen and Gasly will be eager to bring an end to Mercedes' run of 1-2 finishes at next month's Spanish Grand Prix. Thank you for watching the video. Be sure to share and subscribe to your channel to get the latest sports news around the world. Wished health and success. Goodbye.